Hey, YouTube, like, subscribe, and share, please. All right. All right, I'm going to make this video because it's the truth, guys. You guys need to understand what's going on here, all right? I'm going to lose subscribers for this one, whatever. I was just gaining them, but you know what? Anytime I talk about Donald Trump, I don't like to just bash the guy, but you guys have to understand what's going on. None of them are different. They're all the same. They're all working to the same goal, okay? And it's to do what I told you. Okay, it will be linked below in the 1967 recording by Myron Fagan that tells the whole plan. Okay, but I just want you to tell. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Let me show you some evidence of what I'm talking about. Okay, now when someone does something that when they do two different things that are ideologically opposing, I mean, if you would never think of if you were told something about someone or a story that the person A did this one thing and then this same other action, you're like, no way, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. What do you mean? They're opposing one another. When people do that type of shit, you got to take a look at that and see what's going on because something's not right there. It doesn't make sense, man. I just want to show you some of the deception that Donald Trump is throwing our way, okay? Number one, drugs that are brought into this country like that and flood everywhere, they could get rid of that and take care of that if they wanted to for the most part, or at least not. Our streets are flooded, the big cities, with fentanyl and other drugs, fentanyl and crystal meth and all this shit. Fentanyl is like crazy. People are dropping dead left and right in the big cities. You guys know I'm in a big city. We have one of the worst problems there is here. Dropping dead left and right, and they have been, okay? They could get a handle on that. They don't want to. They do this. I talked about depopulation in the last video. This is one of their evil ways to depopulate us. Let us kill ourselves. Here, get high. Have a great time. These fentanyl now, these drugs now are like 50 times that of morphine and way stronger than heroin and all this, okay? This fentanyl is so heavy duty and strong. And you guys, fentanyl is a drug that's been around a long time, okay? It is one of the components of anesthesia. When you're knocked out, you're giving something, when you're asleep under anesthesia, you're giving something for, of course, extreme like pain, which is fentanyl. It's way stronger than heroin, right? That's what they give you. But it's such a tiny dose. It's given in micrograms, okay? We even had an emergency room for some things that came up that were major, like major crazy, you know? But it was given in micrograms. And, because when you're given that, and then you're given something to relax your muscles so they can't move, so you're paralyzed. And then they have something to sleep, so you're knocked out. So there's those three components. There might be some other shit in there too now, but that's the main thing. And it's always been fentanyl. Still now. You go under, you're getting fentanyl. But this is fentanyl, street fentanyl. And what they're doing is they're making, I can't think of the word for it, but the prototypes of it, where they're just chemically in the lab, they're taking and copying the molecular structure, and they're making just a little bit tiny difference so they can get it like in the country, and then they change it or alter it, or the effects are similar, whatever, but they're highly, highly addictive, right? Excuse me. And we've got Donald Trump knowing the CIA is bringing this in here to do this to our people. They're doing that purposely, just like crack cocaine. They brought in here to destroy the black community. And crack cocaine, the penalty is 4 times that of if it's powder cocaine in the same way, okay? There's, come on, there's a reason for that. All right, but anyway, so Donald Trump, fentanyl's killing our people. It's killing people. I can't have it killing our people. He's so worried about it. He made a federal emergency, did all these things to Canada, put tariffs on them because of it, blaming everyone in the world when they're sneaking it in, and Trump knows it. Kill off these homeless people. He doesn't give a fuck. You guys, you have to understand, he is a wealthy New York elite, liberal Democrat. Always has been, up until the early 2000s when they told him, you got to switch over because the plan is you're going to come in and make immigration the big deal finally, and that's how you're going to win, and you're going to that's how you're going to get people behind you, immigration, and you're going to go for the Christian evangelicals. So you got to pretend you're into all that and you support that shit. He doesn't really. That guy's giving more money to Planned Parenthood. They've always voted Democrat long ago, but they had to start faking out in the early 2000s. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Donald Trump and his entire family, his kids, his family going all the way back, no one in that family has ever wanted for anything. They don't know what it means to go without anything. They don't. None of them. And they've only gone to school with people like that and been around people like that. Go to restaurants with those type of people. They don't even mean to think that he's the one that come in here. It's for America. It's for the little guy. It's for the middle class. It's going to help us. God sent him. God sent his new David. That's what they say. His new David God sent to one last chance to fix the Christian nation. It went so crazy far left, which they did on purpose. So our savior, Donald Trump, could come and fix everything. Oh, wasn't everyone so excited Donald Trump was going to come straighten everything up and bring back all these values? No, he didn't. Look what he's done. He's fucked everything up even worse. Okay? And he's doing this immigration thing. That was part of the plan to let everyone come in to do what happened. He's doing the immigration thing, so now we can do the ICE thing and get the police and military in the streets and get us fighting and all this shit so they can lock us down martial law. Already talked about that. Okay? I want to talk about these inconsistencies. Ideologically, he goes on and on about, I don't want any of the killing. I just want the killing to stop. I'm the peace president. Please listen to me, someone. Ukraine and Russia. He could have stopped that. The moment he got in, said, no more weapons, no more money to Ukraine and Europe. None of you better do it either. The United States, leader of the United States, has always called the shots for the whole Western world. And everyone knows it, and don't even try to fucking argue with me. All he had to do was say no more money, nothing, and that would have been it. Ukraine would have had to come to the table and done whatever Russia wanted, and that would have been that. And it would have been over with. Okay? But we know the final goal is to move into Russia and take all the resources. So they're using Ukraine as a proxy. To the very last Ukrainians dead, and then NATO's moving in, which is occurring right now. Please prepare. But Donald Trump, I just want the dying to stop. I care about Russia's dying, Ukraine's dying. He doesn't care about anyone dying. You understand me? He doesn't care about his own children if they were dying. He cares about some money and people liking him and admiring him. That's all he cares about. Okay? Gaza. He could have stopped that the minute it came in. All he had to do was tell, no. This stops. They are doing a full-blown genocide in Gaza right now, and they're using a full-blown famine that they orchestrated. Their method of choice for killing these people in this genocide is starvation. And it's mostly women and children. But because it's Israel has a right to defend itself. They're all terrorists, every one of them. Okay. See how crazy this is? And God has sent Donald Trump. But Donald Trump wants the killing to stop. I just want this killing to stop. No, he doesn't, or he could have stopped it all. He could have stopped it all with 2 phone calls, okay? It's all bullshit. And he doesn't care about the fentanyl and the killing to stop here either. He doesn't care. He wants the homeless to die that way. And here's how I know. We've talked about the fentanyl. I make such a big deal about the fentanyl. He's the same president that the minute this motherfucker got into office, he cut the funding to these. Right here. What this is an naloxone hydrochloride nasal spray, 4 milligrams. It is Narcan is its chemical or generic name. Okay? They used to only have it IV. When I was working in the hospital tonight, they only had it IV. But if you come in with someone that's overdosed on an opiate, what it does is it immediately, reverses the opiates in your opiate receptors, clears them out. Boom. They go from dead. I've seen them blue, slobbering, dead. And you hit that in their IV, you can watch it go down, and by the time it hits them, I'm telling you, they spring up in the bed like amazing. Like, what happened? What's going on? And the color's coming back to them. It's amazing. It's amazing, man. Half the time they're pissed off at you for bringing them back, but that's a different video. But now they have them in these, where you just takes a couple of sprays, like 1 or 2, and then, and it works the same way. It's amazing. They're knocked out. I carry them around with me in my little backpack if I go out into the city, right? My wife carries them around too. I've had to use them. She hasn't had to use one yet. I've had to use them on 2 occasions, okay? Both times I didn't use them. One time there was a stoplight, and I was going to cross the street, and there was a cop, 2 cops in the middle, the grass median in the middle in front of, in the busy ass fucking street in the middle of downtown, and they got a guy laid out, just fell out on an overdose, and the cops are trying to do CPR. They're calling 911, doing this, getting help, and I just said, hey, and I threw that to them, and they're like, oh, thanks, and they use that, and I just kept walking. Well, I go to my doctor, they give me another one because they're free, because they're federally funded. It's free, right? Otherwise, I don't know how. They're expensive. Probably, who knows? This thing's probably $100. Who knows? I'll have to look it up now. Well, and then another time, I was walking by the public library, and this girl was going crazy, freaking out. It was her boyfriend was passed out. They were all on heroin and shit, and we couldn't get him to come to. And they're trying to call. And I said, I have Narcan. And they're like, oh my God, please. So I gave it to her, and then I walked off there. I don't know what happened. Well, so I got another. I get them for free. I got to get a script from my doctor, but then they're for free. Now, the minute Donald Trump got in, he cut funding to that. That is ideologically incompatible and doesn't make fucking sense. These are amazing. These save so many people's lives just in our city alone. So many. Okay? To be so upset that you've done a federal emergency that you got to put tariffs on our neighbors because I think I'm killing to stop with the fentanyl. You've cut the funding to the number one thing that the only thing I know of that reverses it is Narcan. But like I said, we only had it IV before. That's the only thing I know that does reverse it. Maybe they got something else I don't know about, and cut the funding to that. Let's cut the funding to that. We'll give more money to the military so we can make more weapons so we can sell to people and cause trouble so we have people to drop the weapons on so we can sell more. You understand? You understand? That's how it works. That's what's going on, okay? So we got that. You guys, he was not here to save us. He was here to come here and be the final nail in our coffin and get us tied up in the digital money that he's going to call stable coins. Oh, it's stable coins. It's still programmable digital money. Once they have our money digital, they have us by the balls. I don't care who says what, guys. And you don't even know what all the implications are for that. I'll make a video on that, what that means and how unfair and how it's going to be, okay? How it's going to be, all right? He's the Trojan horse, remember? He's the Christian, the evangelical for the Christians and for all that, because it went so far left, and they made sure they made it so far left loony, so far liberal loony, that, hey, we're praying for anything. Then he comes in supposed to do this, that, and the other. The foreign policy is always the same. It is a right-left paradigm that they made up, that they created to cause this between us and to keep us busy, keep us arguing, keep us busy, so we're not watching what they're doing. Just like, okay, all those hearings that you can see on C-SPAN or whatever in the Senate and all that, those are all fake. They're all scripted. I know you think I'm crazy. All those senators, you see, it's always the same senators and same House members that are on these same committees. They always do it, guys. It's always the same ones year after fucking year. Go watch. Look what they did with Pam Bondi yesterday or the day before. That was all scripted and fake. All fake. When Jasmine Crockett and Marjorie Taylor Greene get into their little fight, it's all scripted and fake. They think it's funny. You guys, it's called bread and circuses. They're doing it on that is all fake, guys. That's why we see the same 40 or so congressmen or senators, and we don't see any of the other ones, because these are the ones that are the actors that are bought and paid for or in the club and are down, okay? And they're acting and they're told what to do, guys. It's all fake and it's all bullshit, guys. That's why they keep the Democrat and Republican count so close everywhere, guys. We should have a bunch of different political parties, guys. And it should be battled down to the two that finally get down to it in the end, is how it should be here, guys. And there should be term limits. If we're a representative democracy, that means we're supposed to have different people going every 2 years with new ideas to Washington, D.C. to represent our area. Not the same motherfuckers over and over. And the Founding Fathers knew that. That is why they left out term limits. That is why. Because they knew this is all we got to do. Give them so much freedom. Give them capitalism, where all you care about is the bottom line and what your shareholders want, and take off term limits. That's all we got to do. And that's what they did. See, the U.S. Constitution is not this, oh my God, it's the most wonderful, perfect. Yeah, it is. It's evil. It's evil. If you're supporting corruption and you're supporting the criminal and the unlawful, it's brilliant. It's wonderful. Let me leave you with this. Do you think in the Constitution where we're allowed to, We have the right to defend ourselves against the state, a bunch of attorneys. Do you think that's a great right we should have? Wow, we should be proud of that. Or do you think that's a fucked up trap? They even let people facing the death penalty do it. See you in the next video.